Hello and welcome. This is Darren DeFord bringing you another PvP commentary. Once again, this is going to be between my daughter TCTC and a battlemaster by the name of Brightfellow, who I think is right around 150th in the rankings right now. She was just looking to spar and he popped in there and gloated a little bit, and she said what the hell, I'll try, because she wanted to get better, and interesting things happened. Start on a random map. As you can see, the map is pretty much, you got a center place right here, and most people will tell you that if you lose the center, you'll lose the match. But that's not always true. She'll start out here with the Windweaver, and he will start with the Dread Charger. Now, he bypasses his first well cluster and makes straight for the center, and she grabs a well, so she's already earning power. He now builds a phase tower, and it should be noted that at this time, TC's deck is only, I think, level 80, and he was starting with 120 deck. So just on deck level, she's already at a disadvantage. Now, usually when your opponent builds a tower, it's pretty safe to build a well somewhere. But the problem with phase tower is you have to be careful because it can move. So you have to make sure the phase tower is not going to get in the way and be able to attack you. He takes a well, and she answers by taking a second well. So at this particular moment, she's gaining power quicker than he is. And there you go, the phase tower just phases. Now when the phase tower moves, it's got a period of vulnerability in between up to 30 seconds depending on the upgrade level. He's got two Dread Chargers, and the idea of the Dread Chargers is so he can do a split attack, one from the left, one from the right, and avoid a ensnaring roots getting both of them, so he might be able to sneak in a nasty. Now he takes a second well, so they are now even on wells. She's bringing in an attack force, two Windweavers, a Shaman, and I think she brings in a Blue Dryad. Now the problem with Nature is it has power in numbers, but it's very, very slow to start. It has to snowball. Against a fortified position, Nature will have a problem, especially if there's walls involved, but there's no walls here, so should be interesting. The thing with phase towers, a lot of people consider a phase tower multiple ones laming because it's very hard for Nature to answer against, which is true. But the main thing to do is once your phase tower starts focusing on units, just move that unit around, and the phase tower actually miss the unit, so you can actually have the phase towers taken out, and your units can concentrate fire on them as they try to move one thing. Phase towers, they do AE damage, so you want to try to keep your units apart from each other. Dryad's going to try to sleep or crowd control the Nox Trooper. One Dread Charger is already down. He hasn't lost a unit yet. The Nox Troopers are focusing on the Dryad. The Dryad drops, and he brings his, or she brings her Windweavers and Shamans back, and then focuses on the Dread Charger. Now, why he brought the Dread Charger in, I don't know. He should have brought the Dread Charger back here because that's just a waste. He now brings in a second phase tower. Once again, two Shamans or two groups of Windweavers. You got roots to hold everybody back, so the Dread Charger can't get in and do a nasty. And that's the whole point of the Dread Charger right now, is just to be able to get in and do a nasty. Now, the thing with the nasty is, as long as you damage the unit, the more you damage them, the less the nasty will be. And as you can see with the towers back here, it's kind of hard for Nature to be able to take it out. Once again, lost a Dryad. Should pull that Dryad back. She now has 3 Windweavers as well as 2 Shamans. Bright has just gaining power. He's not usually using or losing too many power or units, so he's gaining power very, very quickly. Now have 3 Windweavers, 1 Dryad Blue, and 2 Shamans. Dread Chargers coming in. There's a nasty. And as far as I'm concerned, that nasty was ineffective because it didn't actually kill any units, so it was a wasted nasty, but it did damage them. And the Windweavers ended up dying from the focus fire of the Nox Trooper. He now takes a third well. I think that might have been a mistake, but he hit the power, so we'll see what happens. She hasn't really been too effective in taking out the units here, so he felt confident in doing it. And here's where you want to micro your units there. You need to spread them apart so they don't all get affected by the phase towers. And the attack continues. Focus fire on the phase tower as well as the Dread Charger. She loses a Windweavers, and she takes out a phase tower. She brings in a half-dazed Windweavers, and that should be able to. And now she's starting to snowball her attack a little bit to where she'd be able to attack. However, Let's look at his power. And he is now starting to spam Nox Troopers. He's got 4 sets of Nox Troopers on, plus a Dread Charger. 1 Dryad, 3 Wind Weavers usually would be enough to handle this. However, you also have to deal with the Phase Tower, which is continuously damaging your units. Surge of Light to heal all the units. And you got 2 Dread Chargers back here in the backfield. She's trying to move the Dryad up to start controlling some of these Nox Troopers. One Dread Charger's gone. Looks like she lost a Wind Weaver. Heal was a little late, but she was probably running low on power. Yes, she was. And once again, a failed offensive by TC and Nature to take out the Shadow. Lost her Dryad on the way out. Wind Weavers are coming back for more. If you keep pressure up, but once you have that many Nox Troopers, those Nox Troopers will be able to chew through the Wind Weavers pretty quick. And she now decides to go to T2, realizing that he is not going to be, or she's not going to be able to attack it. He looks like he realizes this, and he's going to take advantage of the power. And looks like nice ensnaring roots got everybody. This is bad micro on his part. The Wind Weavers will now be able to attack everything. Now remember, there's a point of vulnerability for the Phase Tower. It takes 100% more damage. So the Phase Tower now drops. She's now tier 2. And nice oink. Gets all of the Nox Troopers. Will be able to focus down the Nox Troopers. Looks like she's going to let the Shamans and the Tower, or the Orb, take out the Dread Charger, and the Wind Weavers will take out the rest of the T1 units. So that was a failed T1 offensive by Brightfellow. Now Brightfellow, look at all this power he has. Has 300 power, so she knows a Harvester's coming. And about this time, he's gloating with her, and because he's got so much power. Well, split units. She's a root deck, so she sets up the root deck now. 300 power, Orb of Corruption. She's set up to where she should be able to take out the Orb as well as Power Wells. She has a blue Nexus and 2 sets of Wind Weavers and 2 Shamans to be able to heal. Orb of Corruption was a very difficult spell to counter. Basically what you want to make sure of is that you have buildings in your deck just for that reason. There is a Harvester. The Orb of Corruption does, I think it's 8 times your power plus, I can't remember the calculations, but it's big. So he now powers up the Harvester. You got one little old Spike Root's not too much of a match for her. She ends up brings in a tower, living tower, which damages the Harvester because he's still in the area of corruption. He's got 100 power to be able to do something with this Harvester. She ended up taking a well down, so that's a victory for her. Brings in Spirit Hunters. Brought in another blue Nexus. I don't know why she did that. That was a waste of power. And she brings in a set of Spirit Hunters to keep a dot on the Harvester at all times. Now only has 1,000. The Living Tower gets 1 shot off on the Harvester, and between the between the Living Tower as well as the Spirit Hunters, the Harvester will drop. So that was a failed offensive on his part, and he now has the beginning, or she now has the beginning of a root network set up. So this is going to be very difficult for him to defend against if he can keep this up. Living Tower takes care of the Shadow Mage in 1 shot. Now I'm not a fan. Well, I won't say that. I'm a fan of Living Towers, but I like Tree Spirits to bolster my Spike Root because they're easy to summon, especially if you're right next here to a base, and they're instant summons, so you can get the power or the benefit almost immediately. But in this case, I agree with the Living Tower because you had a Tower Walk because of the Orb of Corruption. There's the Knight of Chaos, and you're asking because of my previous replays, hey, where's the Green Dryad? Green Dryad does not protect a Knight of Chaos. I think it should, but it doesn't for one reason or another. And a great benefit about having the Living Tower this close to your Spike Root is it will protect the Spike Root against any melee units. And here come Tree Spirits she summons, and they are now going to bolster that. So she now has 1, 2, 3 units supporting her Spike Root, which means her Spike Root will be doing some insane amount of damage, almost 900 to 1,000. And it looks like he's got 500 power, and he's just sitting here wasting it. Here comes another Harvester. She saw that coming. I think everybody did. There is a Unholy Power to power up the Spike Root. The Spike Root now takes out the set tier 2 Orb. She brings in a second Living Tower, and Harvester uses this ability to summon all the Skeleton Warriors, and the Spike Root is now going to try to take out the Harvester one-on-one. And the Living Towers are chiming in. There's a Surge of Light to protect. Her main goal right now is to do as much damage to this Harvester as she possibly can. And she doesn't quite do it. He takes his tier 2, and quickly she's now taking out the second well, taking out a orb, and so right now I'll say the momentum is starting to shift. He's starting to sweat a little bit, I think anyway. Brings in a second or a third Spike Root. He's going to try to set it up right here. This will knock out these two right here. Now the root network's starting to form. You got 4 supporting it, so the Spike Root will do insane damage. So you definitely don't want to keep that Harvester anywhere near it. 3,000. Let's see how much it does. Oh, she didn't go. So 2,000. So it did almost 1,100 damage. There's a Orb of Corruption, and there you go. It's just destroying this orb. Orb of Corruption brings in a Shadow Phoenix. Now this Spike Root probably should have been summoned back here, but that was a mistake on her part. And now you have Dark Elf Assassin, so she brings in a third Living Tower to deal with whatever. He brings in a Phase Tower. I don't know why he brought the Phase Tower in. That's a waste of power as far as I'm concerned. She summons in a Spike Root at her base, and the Orb of Corruption is going to end here in just a second. I guess he's bringing in the towers to try to take out the network. Harvester still doing whatever it's doing over here, and she should really concentrate on, this is a fail on her part, she should concentrate, and the Living Towers take out the Shadow Phoenix. Spike Root should concentrate on the Orb and or the Power Well, and there you go. That might have been an auto thing on the Whatchamadoodles. And now that you have this Harvester right here, you want to go ahead and start focusing on the Harvester, taking out the Well and the Orb. So she's doing very, very good at this time. There is a life weaving on the Harvester, and the Harvester is going to retreat because the Harvester has no chance against this. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 supporting the Spike Root. She takes it well. Harvester may come over here. No. Looks like Harvester is going to go towards the main base. She realizes this, and she destroys all this because it is now worthless power. And she brought the Harvester or the Spike Root here to defend, just in case. You don't really want to destroy your trees because it's going to be needed. She sets up another Spike Root. There's a ensnaring roots to grab the Harvester, and she now brings in small trees to help the Spike Root attack. And she is now going to send another Spike Root down here to where this well where he's just formed, but he's going to take out these Forsaken first. And as you can see, the Harvester is getting out of range. Spirit Hunters to the rescue, as well as Tree Fiends, listen to me, Tree Spirits, and the Tree Spirit ends up taking out the Harvester. So he has now been forced back to the back well cluster. He is now going T2 again. You got one well here in center, Spirit Hunters, as well as Tree Spirits. Now she should probably have microed these Tree Spirits a little bit better instead of leaving them here and brought them forward, but that's the thing about roots system, is you got to be real careful when they're rooted and when they're not rooted. It gets to be a little tricky at times. Anybody who plays root deck understands this. That was a Night Guard, which was used to bring in to swap into the Spike Roots, but it takes time once they're summoned. So those Night Guards should have been summoned down here and not up here. There's an Orb of Corruption, and the Spike Root as well as the Spirit Hunters are going to take out the Night Guards. Now, you got an Orb of Corruption with 2 Spike Roots. You want to get these Spike Roots out of here. Leave this one here because it's got to. The Surge of Light takes out his own or her own Spirit Hunters. This Spike Root safely out of distance, so now we can let this Spike Root do as much damage as it can. And there is a Surge of Light. Here comes a Knight of Chaos as well as a Shadow Mage, and the Spike Root goes down. Now I probably should have waited to bring that Spike Root back. There he goes. And the Surge of Light kills her own Spike Root, and now you have nothing here. He has now got 67 power to do whatever, and she is at 96. And somewhere, and I missed this, he also brought in a Shrine of Greed, which is a pure shadow card which dumps half his void into into his power pool, so I missed that. He summoned it back here probably about, I think, when he summoned the second harvester. And now she brings in her tree spirits. Now she remembers them. And now she's going to keep on going and take out this cluster. Knight of Chaos. And Knight of Chaos did not activate his ability, and there's a second Knight of Chaos. And there we go. There's the ability right there. Basically, it means that the units will attack whatever is around them. That's a parasite to take out the Knights of Chaos, and the tier 2 orb drops. Shadow Phoenix is going to do a crash dive on these things, but this is useless because they'll survive it, and he's hoping that it will reincarnate. And I don't know if it does or not. Nope, he quits. So it doesn't matter what rank you are. It doesn't matter what rank your opponent is. As long as you know what you're doing, you keep your cool and don't get overheated, overzealous, you can win just about any match. It's about skill, knowledge, and training. It's nothing else. Deck level helps, but it doesn't have everything to do with it. Like I said, she was playing with almost 80 level deck. He had 120. The moral of this story is when you're playing an opponent, don't gloat, don't goad. Just have fun playing the game. There's some people are better than others. Just go out and have fun. There's no need to gloat. As my phone rings. Hope y'all enjoyed this replay, and y'all have a good day. Bye bye.